here on the couch. We're hanging out. It's more chill, relaxed. Except for this time, I have notes. I have notes. I have notes. I have things written down to keep me on track on this one. Because I myself have been kind of taking notes all day. And for the last couple days, honestly. Anyway, let's get into it. Let's start with the tertiaries, everybody. So we're 911 subscribers. Good, good, good. But we need to keep climbing. So let's keep going to that 1,000 subscriber goal. And then we'll do the unboxing comparison. Which mystery box is better? Big box retailer or independent retailer mystery box? And we'll compare from there. But we got to get to 1,000 subscribers first. So let's get there, everybody. Let's get there. Also, pinned comment below has a link in it. Click the link. And then you go to the Discord. Once you join the Discord Task Force Shrubbery, you can hang out with other weirdos like me, talk Airsoft goodness, video game, and movie nerdery. You can also support the channel by requesting some merch. You can get yourself roadkill rags where you can call your hits in style, or you can get a patch, which I don't have many left, but I do have some. So get them soon before I run out. I don't know when I'm going to re-up again. It's going to be a minute, but I will get more. Or you can also custom order a tie-dye shamog to whatever color flavor you enjoy. So do those things. Do those things. Let's see, what else do I got coming up in the tertiaries? Nothing much, really. I don't have anything going down. So yeah, we're just gonna keep on chugging along and get this thing rolling. I see I got Lady Emery Draven here in the chat. Hello, hello. Crazy Jason, good to see you. Ackright, good to see you, my friend. Good to see you. Sup, I'll be listening while driving home. Well, there's not much to watch, so good listen. It's more like a podcast at that point, so it's totally fine. Everybody, please make sure to smash that like button on the way in if you have not done so already. Also, subscribe if you're not subscribed already. Become a tree dweller. Hit the bell icon to be notified for all videos coming out. All right, so let's start getting into it. And I hope you guys enjoyed the end of day one, that it finally came out. See, I told you guys, Sheboygan stuff is finally getting released from April. Oh my God. I still got day 2 to release. I'm still debating if I'm going to make that a 2-parter. I can either leave it 1 episode. Actually, I'll ask you guys now. So, day 2 of Sheboygan. Do you want it 1 big episode, or do you want me to split it into 2? Let me know here in the chat. I want a live info on this one. So, for the next final episodes of the Sheboygan Blacklist 2025 stuff, do you want 2 episodes or 1? Mr. Henry Tinkler says 2-parter. What say the rest of ye? And then once we get done with this little discussion, then we'll get on to tonight's business. I just got one vote for 2-parter. Doesn't matter to me, whatever you feel best. I'm asking you. I am giving you a decision. Don't flip this around back on me, Crazy Jason. Yes, I'm calling you out, man. Pick one. I got another 2-parter. Draw this out. I'm only going to wait a few more minutes. And then we're going to get on to tonight's topic. I just want to get y'all's opinion. And yes, Jason, I'm picking on you. Ha 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 ha. Pick a decision. As of right now, guys, we'll still leave it in the air, but we're not going to linger on this too much longer. We're going to keep moving on. Now, as we go, guys, questions, comments, concerns, anything like that, just like pretty much everybody else's little live streams, put a big old Q in front of it, and then I can see it on the chat easier, even though the phone's right in front of my face. And I hope you all brought your coffee. I did. Yep, that's right. I bring out coffee on serious episodes. So I have notes, everybody. I have notes. Now, if anybody scrolls all the way to the top of the chat, because I can only pin 1 comment at a time. It is good, delicious coffee, Ghost, by the way. It is Black Rifle coffee, the hazelnut variety. It's delicious. It's a nice medium roast. But if you guys scroll all the way to the top of the chat, because I can only pin one thing at a time, there's a link. So I'm getting into gas blowback. Oh, we said this many times over the channels over the last 3 years that eventually one day I'll be doing it. I'm doing it finally. Last week I pre-ordered my first gas blowback replica. If you go all the way up in the chat, there's a link to what I pre-ordered, and you can yourself pre-order it yourself if you want to get one. But I will discuss here, but you guys can go check out the link if you want to scroll all the way to the top, click on it, and then come all the way back to the live chat. But I wrote down specs, I wrote down things. So I'm going to walk you through what I pre-ordered. And before I do that, I'm going to explain my decision on why I took this to get my feet wet with gas blowback. One, it is not because it is just a it's not a fanboy purchase, because it is an MGC4 replica, which means it's a Mayo Gang thing through Airsoft GI. That's not why. It's a cool thing, but not why. I'm also supporting a local business by purchasing one of these. So that's A number one. A number two, it's Lancer Tactical. This is Lancer Tactical's MWS gas blowback. So they also just released their guns modified Lancer Tactical MWS gas blowback replicas. And they are, if you haven't seen already, they're going to be releasing the MWS SLR licensed through Lancer Tactical. Win. And I like Lancer Tactical, regardless to what Reddit heads say about the brand. Lancer Tactical is a good brand. I don't care what anybody says. I'll fight you on this. So it's a trusted brand by me. I trust the brand. So I'm giving them a shot. A number two, it's an MWS gas blowback system. Big reason why that means a huge thing is it's the Tokyo Marui standard. MWS is the Tokyo Marui standard, period. That it is what it is. That means there are parts aplenty out there for the thing. So if anything breaks, I can find something, I can buy it, and I can fix it. Win. And a number three reason, coming from a background of real steel, before Airsoft, that extra realism of kick and getting recoil, and like even the malfunctions or issues that you'll get from gas blowback, just like the real thing would potentially have. Yeah, sure, I'm down for all that. Full on experience. I'm excited. So let's get into this. It's the MGC4 Mark IV MWS gas blowback replica. Out of the box, the stats they put on the website, it is 390 to 400 FPS out of the box, which is cool. Because if you go back and look at Tokyo Marui gas blowback replicas, they're to Japan spec, which means it's a lower FPS, which means out of the box you got to spend money and upgrades to bring it up to US spec levels. This, you don't have to do that, which is awesome. If that actually maintains that, which I'm pretty sure it does, but even better. Then, of course, it comes with the replica itself, a 30-round magazine, flip-up sights, a metal QD, metal quick disconnect mock suppressor, which is awesome. It's a good bonus out of the box. I wonder if, my question is with that mock suppressor, can you put a tracer in it? Otherwise, I may have to purchase a new thing. With flash hider for the mock suppressor to go on. Which, out of the box, cool, awesome standards. Probably also comes with like an M jamming rod, like normal. Features of said replica. It's a full metal billet receiver, upper lower. Even better. We like the full metal stuff on here. 10.5-inch M-LOK rail system. Awesome. I can work with that. Totally fine in my book. Top dead center, hop up, out of the box, in the replica already. That is a sell point on this alone as well. I don't know if it's metal or plastic. It's probably plastic, but the fact that it's top dead center out of the box is awesome because that means I don't have to worry about replacing the hop up unit until it actually breaks, and then upgrade. Ambi controls. Win. My question also with the ambi controls, does it have an ambi bolt release on it? Because if it's got an ambi bolt release, even better. Usually when they say ambi controls, it's just fire selector controls. So if it's already got a built-in ambi bolt release on it, even better. Then it comes with the new NSR stock. So nice features out of the box, good sell points. Good to see you, Prime Tech. Welcome to the fun. Let's see. Now, magazines for this thing. Now, normally when we're talking about, we've talked in the past about cost of getting into gas blowback stuff. And obviously in tonight, we're going to discuss this. But magazines for this is also a sell point. The Lancer Tactical MWS magazines are upgraded seals and valves for the magazines. Win. And they're for 35 round magazines, just like pretty much most gas blowback replica magazines. But usually when we're talking gas blowback replica magazines, we're talking like 50 to like $75 a piece. Right? That's what we're normally talking. These ones are $48 a piece. Yeah, still expensive and pricey, but $48 a piece. I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining at all. Now, all these things coalesced into decision on why I landed on this thing. So, since I pre-ordered a gas blowback, I started diving down the rabbit hole that I normally do when I buy new things, new functions, new features, new systems. I research it, how it works, how you take it apart, things that you need to potentially upgrade out of the box, possibly. Now, a lot of the information I found applies to Tokyo Marui, specifically Tokyo Marui branded MWS systems, where they come pretty much Japan spec, and then upgrade options are all pretty much to make it run on green gas, and so it doesn't destroy things, and bring it to US spec. This seems like it may already be partially brought to US spec, especially with it shooting 390 to 400 FPS out of the box. That means I have to wait until I get it in hands to actually see what upgrades I need to do to it. Now, in videos and things I've read and things I've watched, one thing that I noticed and realized big time that I totally agree with, to help your gas blowback longevity immediately, is your bolt carrier. What metal or material, whatever it is made out of, and the rollers and everything that it rolls across or runs across, what it is also made out of. And you need to match that together. So if like all of your stuff is steel, everything that it contacts and rubs against is steel, and your bolt carrier is not steel, you need to possibly buy one that's steel. If it's aluminum, you get an aluminum one. Like, you really want to match that up. And it's something that I don't think a lot of people bring up or talk about, because wear patterns on different materials happen quicker, faster, slower, things like that. If you match material, it'll just increase longevity. immediately. I'm not saying that you have to like I'll go and do it right now, but it's something to think about in like the immediate future. Let's see. What does PrimeTech say? Hop Up will likely be an alloy. Can't skimp on using polymer for an MWS clone chamber. Making creme brulee grilled cheese sandwiches for the ooh, that sounds amazing. I hope it's an alloy. I hope it's some sort of alloy. Otherwise, I have hop up changers in mind. We'll get to that later. But yeah, no. That's something that I noticed across the board that gets mentioned occasionally, but I don't think everybody talks about enough. Is you want your bolt carrier to be made of the same material that it's all rubbing against, essentially. So nothing wears out faster than the other. It all wears evenly. It'll help it flow and function better. Now, this is just based off of like science, not out of my personal experience yet. I'm gonna get there. Don't get me wrong. I have to wait till April to get my replica, which is the nightmare part of this. But believe you me, there's going to be money spent on this thing almost immediately before I even take it to an event, really, that I'm going to be doing to it. And that's just for personal. Like, you trust me, you don't take this as gospel of something that you have to do if you go and get a gas blowback replica. This is what I've learned and can like go from there. But some tips I think are advantageous. I'm getting there, Prime Tech. You're beating me to the punch, mister. But obviously they haven't released the specs of the inner barrel for the Mark IV yet. So I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's 03, 05, 01, or what. It's probably going to be like an 03. Knowing how GI specs their stuff out, it's probably going to be an 03 out of the box. But who knows what material it's going to be made out of. Like, who knows? But I agree, Prime Tech. First thing out of the box, regardless. And this goes for any replica that you buy. Almost immediately for primaries. Barrel bucking. Get new ones. If it's not 6.03, make it at least 6.03. I haven't really landed on what barrel I'm going to put in this thing yet. I may take it to a 6.02. I don't know. It also is about what I can find, what I can get my hands on, because I'm also building this for accuracy. I'm not going to spam fire it because I got to count. I got to count when I use this thing. I got to count because, I mean, bolt lock is cool, but you want to know when to start grabbing before bolt lock happens. Because if you know you're about to be on your last one and the bolt's about to lock back, you can already anticipate grabbing and prepping for that. Makes reloading faster. So if you know you have 35 shots, count them. But beyond the point. But yeah, so in purchasing this gas blowback replica, there's a lot of steps I'm essentially having to skip and a lot of extra money I don't have to spend immediately. Unlike if I bought a like $650 Tokyo Marui, where you buy a $650 Tokyo Marui and then you have to dump like another $200 to $300 into it to bring it to US spec. Possibly, depending on what parts you buy, which most likely you're going to be spending that much money. Cool. Thanks for pointing that out. Appreciate it. I think the minimum, I like to convert it to a 14.5-inch GBR so I can transfer my LPVO. That would be cool. Um, I have plans already, so stay tuned, Prime Tech. I think you're gonna like what I have planned. But beyond the barrel bucking, obviously, um, in researching this stuff, um, essentially this gas blowback that I've seen, you're not gonna have to do much out of the box. You're gonna actually be able to pick up and go and play games, and it's gonna work great. Having the fact that it has a top dead center TDC hop up unit out of the box already, um, you're going to be fine. The fact that it's shooting 390 to 400 FPS, you're going to be fine. You don't have to do any modifications of this thing out of the box until anything breaks or you absolutely feel you need to. Now, with that being said, I think if you want to get into gas blowback replicas, do what I did, save your money because all this stuff is expensive. This GBBR is $369 currently on pre-order. And they're saying it may go up another $20 before it gets released because some design changes may happen. Which is expected and fine. But you're still looking at anywhere between like $370 to $400 for a GBBR on this level, this Mark IV. It's not cheap. It's not terribly expensive though for as like MWS systems go. It's actually a pretty fair price. So do what I did. If you want to get into gas blowback and you were dead set on doing this, biggest tip of advice I can give you, save up. Just save up over time by either just setting money aside or putting gift cards into your account on whatever website you shop through for your airsoft goodies. You can just put it on for like, just instead of just setting it aside and not touching it, you can put it in gift card credit on where you're going to pick up your stuff from. But what I did is I just saved up. I literally set money aside until I had it, and then I just boom, bought it. Now, since I pre-ordered this, I have until April essentially for this thing to come out. This gives me time to buy magazines. Now, magazines are not cheap, but they're not expensive either. At $48 a piece. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start buying magazines now. So you buy like one here, one there, like every other paycheck or something. Since I have to wait until April, I essentially can get all my magazines purchased before I get it. And I think on the website, they say the magazines come out in January. Rifle comes out in April. Yeah, I should be able to get at least 6 magazines by then. But that's going to be my like also onesies and twosies thing. Like if you can't just do what I said I'm going to do is I'm going to like buy one like every other paycheck or something. Buy one magazine here and one magazine there. Or save up money yet again until you get a decent chunk and then buy a lot. Prime Tech said buy the mags first. Yeah, no, and I'm going to. That way, and I'm buying the Lancer Tactical branded MWS magazines for this that are $48 a piece because also the price is awesome. So it should definitely work with the replica. And yeah, I'll pretty much have the magazines before I have the replica in hand, which is going to be kind of funny. But that means I can also, stare at them. Right? And learn how to load them because I've played around with a couple of gas blowback GBBRs, but I've never actually loaded the magazines. So yeah, I'll learn how to do that. And drool all over them, essentially. But yeah, if you have that capability, that's what you can do. Otherwise, if it is something that you can buy now, get now, and you want to play with now, then you just need to save up more money to get more magazines out the gate because you also need to remember your magazines are limited capacity for gas blowbacks. So it's just a save up money thing. Take your time. Don't feel like you're rushed into having to do it because everybody else is going to buy one, or you run into a couple of people that have one and you just have to have it now. Just take your time, save up your money. Because trust me, over time, maintenance is going to catch you. And I said the M word, maintenance is going to catch you because you really got to maintain this thing a whole lot differently than you do an AEG. There's a lot more care and concern. So also these factors come into consideration when you are purchasing a GBBR. Maintenance materials, tools, extra parts, so springs, seals, O-rings. If you can find spare little parts, little bits and bobs of replaceables that are easy, get those. Have extras on hand. Buckings. Obviously, I buy like multiple buckings at a time. When I re-up on buckings, I don't just get the one that I need. I get a few. So I have extra buckings. You always want extra buckings. But with also this, since it's all gas blowback, you're going to need lube. Old rule of thumb is get a whole bunch of silicone oil and get it soaking wet and dripping essentially, and then go play airsoft with it. Now, I've been finding a lot of people have been changing up the ways of how they've been doing gas blowback lubrication. Working on the baby badger. Good for you, Cutter. Welcome. I have found that a lot of people aren't really using too much silicone oil with their GBBRs anymore. Using a little bit, but they have essentially switched over to using mainly silicone grease, which honestly kind of makes more sense. And I found that it sucks, but there's a company. Write this down, everybody. If you want to spend the extra money in shipping on it, do it. I might actually do this. But there is a company called Perfect Airsoft. They're based out of Germany. And the guy made the company just to make lubricants just for airsoft. Like literally for AEGs and gas blowback. And I've looked into it, and honestly, it's not priced too bad. Even though it's in euros, I know the conversion's a little bit different. But like for a package of all 4 products, it's only like shipping is going to kick you in the dick. But for a package of all 4 products, it's only like $30, maybe 35 once you do the conversion. I might invest into it. But his gas blowback rifle lubricant for all the innards and whatnots they suggest using is a low friction silicone grease with PTFE in it, which is really smart when you think about it, because that also helps with water and corrosion resistance, which is really smart. So yeah, and also I found a lot of tips of people saying that they use silicone-free green gas because, in all honesty, it's true. You don't want silicone oil getting on your barrel because then it'll destroy your accuracy, or getting inside your inner barrel. And if you get too much, so I may go run that route, and all you need is a little bit of silicone oil and like feed lips and stuff, if not a little bit of grease. For feed lips and like the seals and whatnot. So, man, like I would think how I'm probably going to do it is, load a mag with green gas with oil in it, purge it, and then just run dry gas through it. That way it's just kind of got enough oil in it to lubricate everything, and then go run. And then after that, just apply topically afterwards. But yeah, you're going to need stuff like that. And you're also going to want to pause. You're also going to want to build a little toolkit. But also online, I've seen a lot of people use the stuff. You've probably seen it around or seen it used, or some of you, I know a couple people use it on their AEGs when they rebuild their gearboxes to lubricate all their gears in their gearboxes, is super lube silicone grease. There are a lot of people that use super lube on the inside of their GBBRs. to lube them up. And the cool thing is you don't need a lot, just nice little veneer on everything that rubs and touches and slides against each other. There's a whole lot of that's what she said jokes inside of there. I know all of you are giggling and laughing right now. I see them. But yeah, there's that also as well. I think I'm going to go down the road of I found a couple other silicone greases with PTFE. They're low friction. They're pretty much the same thing as the Perfect Airsoft thing. I might get one of those just to try it out, small bottle. But I might also buy some silicone grease from Perfect Airsoft over in Germany to try that stuff out. If not, I might reach out and see if they're willing to send me some sample batches to test once I get it. To hopefully get them some more recognition over here in the USA's. But yeah, so silicone grease. Also, you're still going to want a bit of silicone oil anyway. So silicone oil, you're going to need that too. But yeah, in a small toolkit, Allen keys, small screwdriver, flathead and Phillips, small, mind you, couple of picks, and I think that's about it. That's what I would suggest. Oh, I also always use a Gerber, and some people also say you may need a punch. Yeah, a small punch actually, and a hammer. I don't need a hammer. Honestly, I've found for all of the pins, you don't need a hammer. You can just use a punch, wrap your hand around it, pop the top of your hand, and it'll pop most of the pins out. You don't need a full-on hammer to be whacking on your replicas. Every time I see people use hammers to get pins out, it bugs me. Unless you absolutely have to, then use a rubber mallet, please. Rubber mallet, no actual hammers, just rubber mallets. But yeah, most of these pins, that's all you need. I think people get a little excessive with the hammers nowadays. But so moving on. Small intermission, I guess, before we get into the next subject. How's everybody doing? We had a few people join. Welcome to the crowd, fellow tree dwellers. Any questions, comments, concerns so far? Anybody want to interject? Anything I missed? Because I know Prime Tech, you're in here. You know a lot more about gas blowback. Am I kind of getting some notes, in there that you agree with? I mean, I'm kind of going off of general consensus of research I've been doing over the last few days of people that clearly made videos that have been doing teching on gas blowback stuff and been running gas blowback for a long time. But I think I'm kind of checking off basics, essentially. Once I actually get it, guys, the video series for stuff that will come out every time I get upgrade pieces or do stuff, I'll make a video for it. Because there's not a lot of current gas blowback videos. There's stuff from years ago, it's still the Tokyo MWS system. The generations just may have changed, but it's still pretty much the exact same. They're all old videos. I think we need to update the current teching stuff for gas blowback. So if any other, gas blowback techs out there, please fight through the suppression of airsoft goodies and make some videos, because I'm going to do that. Because trust me, I have plans. Oh, do I have plans? Now, let's get into upgrades. I have gone down the window shopping path supremely. I think when I get... Oh, God, what do we got, Jason? When I get me a GBBR, I'm going to binge watch Ollie Talks. That man was a GBBR wizard and loved passing his knowledge. Ollie Talks, I actually did I watched one of his videos today about the gas magazine modification. Where you cut down the tube in the gas mag, the fill tube in the gas mag, so you can get more gas in your magazine. And the the pluses and minuses of doing so. So funny thing is I use no silicone in my GBBs unless it's slipping the bucking into the hop-up chamber. Huh. You run dry. That scares me. I mean, I don't intend on like spam firing mine, but I still intend on eventually using it heavily. So I'm gonna lube it. Oh, buddy, is it gonna be lubricated? Um, Sad that he passed away from cancer. It is very true, Jason. Very true that Ollie did pass away. And that dude was he actually got his diagnosis shortly after I started my videos. It was sad to see him go. Really was. Ollie was a good dude. He made good content. He was very knowledgeable in airsoft stuff. He made really nice builds. So yeah, it was very sad to see him go. But I did what very informative videos, very good stuff. I found out. Oh man, now I can't remember the name of the channel I was watching. I watched like 3 or 4 of his videos back to back. They were like he was actually one of the newer ones. He showed how to take apart bolt carrier groups in your nozzle and everything. He has a video on how to take down and clean your entire trigger box. I got him in my library on YouTube. I'll have to find him again, give him a shout out because he did a really good job. Even though he doesn't need a shout out from me, but he's very good with the knowledge. He knows what he's doing. He had the newest videos I was able to find. They were still a few months old, except for a couple of them. But he's producing MWS content, which is awesome. It's more than just silicone. Oh, you use something else. Weirdo. Everybody's different, man. I get it. Spit doesn't count. Yeah, just spit on it. It'll be fine. But anyway, it's gonna drive me nuts if I try to think about it. I'll come across it later. But anyway, come to find out in my own research, as it comes to upgrade parts to go into an MWS system, Angry Gun across the board, from my understand, is hit and miss. They have fitment issues with a lot of things, so I'm gonna stay away from Angry Gun. Guns Modify. I heard about Guns Modify before I even got into the gas blowback stuff, like hardcore. I just would kind of like, ooh, that looks cool. You know, that type of stuff with gas blowback. Guns Modify, I've been hearing about forever. And now that I'm looking into stuff and watching videos, and Guns Modify, great to buy from for MWS parts, for aftermarket upgrades and things. So good brand. And Unicorn, which I already like, use, and love. Their barrels, their buckings. They make a lot of stuff for gas blowback. A lot. Like including MWA's nozzle sets and like pretty much all of the guts minus the bolt carrier. They don't have a buffer. They don't have the roller block. I don't remember if they have a hop up or not, but I also did see they had a partnership with somebody else for a trigger box. But yeah, Unicorn. And everybody actually likes Unicorn and says it works really, really well, which is awesome for me because that just means I'm going to use Unicorn parts more than likely. And Max High. As for upgrades go, I'm pretty much going to swap out innards for more durable innards for longer lasting. I'm not trying to heavily upgrade this thing since it's already pretty much where I want it at already out of the box, FPS wise. I might put in I'm probably, at most, I'll probably put an adjustable nozzle in it. That way I can at least adjust the FPS. So if I need to crank it up a little bit or crank it down, I can do so. But for me, it's going to be changing out buffer, because I already know I'm going to want a heavier buffer. I'm going to want more recoil. I already know that out of the box. I don't know the bolt carrier for the bolt carrier set that comes with it, what it's made out of. or how heavy it is, or any of that. So the bolt carrier is up in the air right now, but that might get swapped out for a Guns Modify one. If I do, it's going to be for a Guns Modify bolt. That's hands down already. Like, I've looked at all other bolts, and no, it's going to be a Guns Modify bolt. It's probably going to be like the lightweight steel one. Because I already know like all the trigger components and everything is steel. So when the hop up, like I said, I'm probably going to keep that until it breaks. But I am already looking into probably getting a max hop up for when the first one breaks. I mean, other than that, I think there's a Guns Modify one that I'm looking at on Airsoft GI as well that's sitting in the wings. It's like got a 4-way hop adjustment. So I'm like, yeah, that one probably. Also comes with an adjuster, which is win. But yeah, it's going to pretty much be like Unicorn Guns Modify parts. I'm going to end up putting in a thing. I'm going to probably upgrade some trigger box parts. I'm totally 100% already thinking about upgrading the trigger box to a 2-stage trigger. That 2-stage trigger. I'm thinking about putting a 2-stage trigger in it. I'm really thinking about putting a 2-stage trigger in it already. Because if I can do things to a gas blowback replica that I can't do to an AEG without spending more and more money and teching on it more and more, this is more mechanical. I'm very good with mechanical things. So, and the more, honestly, the more real I can make it feel, the better I'm going to have, the more fun I'm going to have using it. That's the biggest thing about this. So, also, another question I do have about it going into this that I think everybody should question because Tokyo Marui S Blowback MWS M4s have a 2-part buffer system. So there's a cap at the end of the buffer tube that over time does always break on Tokyo Marui's. I don't know about other brands if they do the cap thing, but I'm pretty sure they do because they clone it out. But you may have to, if that has a cap on the end of that buffer tube, I'm going to have to buy a 1-piece buffer tube for it as well, which I've already looked into. Also not cheap, but it's a worthwhile expenditure to, if you plan on using it heavily and long term, to just buy it, replace it, and be done with it. Honestly, I've spent less on upgrades for my MWS clone than my AGs. I mean, if you shop smart, wholeheartedly, there's some things that I think I'm going to immediately start going for. The buffer upgrade for me is going to be huge, because I think I'm looking at the PTS buffer for it that's weighted, so there's no bounce. That way, essentially, it's got weights in it, so it's like a dead blow hammer. So when it hits, it doesn't bounce. That way you completely eliminate the possibility of bolt bounce. So yeah, and also want that extra heavier kick. I also live in a colder climate area. I'm thinking I might do the magazine mod. I might cut that fill tube a little bit. I'm not going to cut it like everybody else does, which is like half of it. I might take just a little bit off the top so I can put a little bit more gas in. I don't want to run the risk of overfilling too much, but at the same time, I also need to test how it functions in colder weather. So, but the reason why I'm going to upgrade to heavier duty parts is because, like I said, I intend on heavily using it. I'm pretty sure this is going to 100% become my, I know it's going to be my travel primary for when I travel for Airsoft events and I actually take my stuff, take all of my stuff. And for events, this is going to be my new thing is my MWS. And I'm going to probably use it a lot more than everything else. So I'm going to buy heavier duty parts to upgrade it immediately. That way it just functions more consistently. I also want to smooth out gas consumption and gas consistency as much as I can immediately. I'm going to upgrade it my way. I'll show you guys what I do to it because I know what I'm going to do to it. I know what, and also when I'm buying parts, I'm probably going to buy parts in duplicate. That way I have backups ready to go. With gas blowback, the one thing I've been told by other people, and the one thing I'm going to tell everybody else, if you have the capability of just when you're buying a part, buy 2 of them. That way you have a backup to go already in case something happens to it, catastrophic failure or break, which is going to happen. There's no electronics, and everything here is mechanical and gas powered, seals, valves, O-rings, things like that. But things still break. It happens. So if you have extra parts already, you're good to go. So I'm already building a plan in my brain. Because I think just in just in the starting process of this and pre-ordering it and pre-shopping and things and prepping and teaching myself how to tech it, how to fix stuff, how to take it apart, like diagnose issues and whatnot, what could cause what, and being the fact that it's more connected to how other real world things work. I already know how things work. So in that process, I'm kind of starting to be like a full-on convert. I'm not saying I'm going to. I still like my AAGs. I'm still going to fix them up. I'm still going to keep working with those. Obviously, they have their place, their purpose, and I love them equally, and I'm going to use them. But this, it's the single most expensive Airsoft replica I have just in prep. But also, outside of spare parts, internal upgrades that you can do immediately, in retrospect and conclusion on upgrades, guns modify, Unicorn Airsoft, stick to those. Stick to those. Just stick to those for parts, for MWS stuff. Easy to find, easy to source. You can get them wherever. There's a couple other ones out there that are really good. Jaeger Precision. A beat. What is it? BT? I don't remember. There's another one that's kind of a defunct company, but you can still get some stuff out there. But yeah, you can find MWS parts are pretty much everywhere and anywhere, and you can find somebody that makes them. Just hopefully they fit, because this gas blowback replica is also an MWS clone, so it may not be exact. But we'll find out when we get there, when we get all these parts. Now, since this is also going to become essentially, definitely look into swapping out the ZET plate. Thank you, Prime Tech, for bringing that up. So in your trigger box, the ZET plate lifts the bolt. So when you're empty and the bolt comes back and it goes to lock, in old Tokyo Marui systems, they came up with the ZET system. So there's a little lever that comes up and brings up that bolt catch to actually snag it, even if you have a low gas scenario. A lot of those ZET plates are flimsy, cheap. So Prime Tech, just to make you happy, I'm already looking into getting a titanium ZET plate. Even though I don't need a titanium one, I saw that I can get a titanium one. So I'm going to get a titanium one. That way I never have to worry about it nor think about it. The ZET plate is essential in smooth functioning in my brain. So yeah, no, the second I found that I could get a titanium ZET plate, I'm going to get a titanium ZET plate. Yeah. Trust me, Prime Tech, I was already on top of that. I think that is more in depth once you get your gas blowback and running, is something that then you would get into. Not something that I was going to include in more of like an intro to stuff. But upgrade wise, I should have included that in my notes. Thank you for bringing it up. ZET plate. Upgrade your ZET plate. Yes. 100%. But for externals, I already have a plan forming. I have a few things already. One, packed box, right? pretty blue laser pack box. And it has a flashlight that also functions on it, you know. Wee. This is pretty much going to be going on it as well. Because I'm going to get a new pressure switch system. Because I'm going to do something that I usually give a lot of people crap about. I'm also going to buy another tack light to put on it at the same time. Because now I finally, after talking so much smack about, well, if you get a PEC box, you already have a flashlight. Why do you need another tack light on top of the flashlight that you have on your PEC box? This is only about 300 lumens. Maybe 500 if I'm lucky. It's not that bright. It's just for shining a light in the dark. And I usually keep the cover on it, so it brings it down a little bit more anyway. But this light essentially is just for seeing in dark places if you need white light. But otherwise, the primary function of this, especially in the airsoft world, is for IR, laser identification, which this does have, or just my lovely blue beam laser. If they allow lasers to be used. You guys saw in Sheboygan. But anyway, this is going on there, and I'm getting a tack light, and I'm getting a dual pressure switch system. Because the tack light's going to be like, 12 to 1500 lumens, and I'm going to try to get one with strobe effect too, because, that's to blind people and distract. Yeah, that Jaeger titanium plate, that's what I was talking about, PrimeTech. But this spec box, it's going to be going on there. It's going to be a PTS pressure switch. So one side's going to be, one button's momentary, one button is steady. But this is going on it. I already have a foregrip. It's green. This is an Atlas Custom Works foregrip, skeletonized. It's lightweight. It's aluminum. Ow. M-lock, obviously. But I bought this. I was going to put it on my Arcturus. And then I pre-ordered the gas blowback. And I was like, no. This is going on the gas blowback. I already got a nice little hand stop on the Arcturus. So this will go in the gas blowback. So I already have a couple of things. And new rail covers are going to go on it. I have yet to decide, but I'm probably going to do a paint job on it. But yeah, let's see. Light, pressure switch, rail covers, foregrip I already have. I'm going to get a new hollow sight and a magnifier set up for it. Because with this gas, I might as well just, do all the fancy bells and whistles with this one. But hollow and magnifier set up for it, and I'm going to get a better lens protector for this hollow. That way it doesn't get shot out again. And then, yeah, I think that might it. The tracer will come up if I can either drop the tracer in the QD mock suppressor that comes with it. Otherwise, I'm going to have to buy a new tracer unit for it because I'm not going to keep swapping my Ace Tech around. I'm going to buy another Ace Tech. What other externals? Any externals you guys can think of? Oh, I'm probably going to switch the stock out. I like the NSR stock that's on it. But with that little bit of width with the crane look, it's a slimmer crane, but still there. I'm probably going to switch that out for some sort of Delta stock. I want a slimmer profile stock on it. That's for sure. And it's probably going to either be a Magpul or a PTS. You sticking with the K2 style grip or... the grip I've been looking at, I don't know yet. The grip, okay, so grip, PrimeTech to answer that. Grip, I'm going to wait until I get it. I want to get it in my hands first and see how that grip feels. I don't know. I've looked at a couple of different grips. If I do get another grip, I'm probably leaning PTS. I like a lot of the style of PTS grips that they have. I don't know yet. I want to get that in my hands before I make that decision, because if it's got the right angle on it for me, I can just do a paracord wrap on it and I'll be happy. Like I did with Tina. I like that grip angle, but I just did a paracord rip on it just to give it a little extra girth because it was a little slim for me. But I don't know. I don't know yet. Itchy nose. That is something I have looked into already, though. And the cool thing is like the parts for this are. I don't have to like look for uber specific stuff. There's some like give and take with some real steel components that I can use too, which is awesome. Gives me a little bit more options. I may just have to spend a little bit more money. Options are good, but a little bit of extra cash. But yeah. Prime Tech, I'm glad to hear that you are willing to send me some of your experimental lubricant. It sounds weird to say out loud, but I'll take you up on that, my friend. I'm glad to. I'm sure you were just happy to see somebody else join the ranks of the gas blowback world. My coffee is cold and gone. But no, we actually made it through all my notes. Good job, notes. Now I'm done with those. But yeah, that's pretty much my cut and dry little introduction on how I'm approaching getting into the world of gas blowback, where my logic is lying on a lot of things and things that I have learned and picked up. There is wealth of resources on YouTube through the Airsoft community and videos. If you literally just type in MWS tips, you can find a wealth of videos. Some of them are older, some of them are relatively new. They're kind of spaced out age-wise, but it's an MWS system across the board. You can see all the updates and whatnot. And there's still new conversations coming out based on new gen mags and whatnot, and people are still talking about them because MWS is the standard. Tokyo Marui is doing one thing and one thing right for all these years, is setting the standard. One of us, as Prime Tech says, yes. But Tokyo Marui did set the standard across the board for Airsoft. They were the starters, the originators of it. So with this MWS system, you can find parts everywhere. And as the info I was given as I was starting to shop around and thinking into getting gas blowback, save yourself the time and the headache of an old Western Arms system that you may fight to find parts for. Spend the money, get an MWS system because you can find parts for it, and stuff is readily available. Easier to work on, easier to fix, that type of stuff. So there's that. And yeah, just save up your money because it is expensive endeavor. When I say I'm buying up mags before I even get the rifle, because the amount of mags that I want now in total, I'm probably going to end up with 10, so I have some spares. But that's $48 a piece. Do the math. Me getting to a combat load, which is 7, is buying 6 more magazines. That's $300 just in magazines. So just in magazines to get up to buy 6, it's almost the cost of the replica itself. To get to 10, I'm going to have to spend the cost of the replica itself and more. So plus, like I said, modifications and upgrades that I talked about, they're the ones that I'm doing for my personal taste and function. You do not have to do them out of the box. This is just how I go into Airsoft. Is I can function it out of the box. How does it work out of the box? Test it out of the box, which I'm going to do before I do anything to it. And then change to make it work for me. like I've done with pretty much all of my Airsoft replicas. The only ones that I haven't really adjusted much are the pistols, which now I'm getting into, which I now know how to tear those apart now for the most part on not all, but most of them. So I guess gas blowback is ruling my brain right now. As Primetech says, one of us. Hopefully, eventually, you guys will hop into it. But in closing, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Stay tuned because once I get the Mark IV in my hands, there's going to be a wealth of new gas blowback stuff coming out from me in the MacGyvering corner. Who's the person you can always count on? Is this a trick question? I know the more vocal GBBR enthusiasts will say go for a VFC, but MWS's system offers a lot more versatility, has a lot more aftermarket support as the V2 AEG. I agree, Primetech. 100% agree. In everything that I've looked at, there's way more support for an MWS system. VFC is also, like I've told a couple other people in diving down this rabbit hole, I found that it's a argument between MWS and VFC stuff. They're the two upholding gas blowback standards. It's either VFC or MWS. I'm going to say MWS just because part support's there. And it is a lot more versatile. There's a lot more aftermarket support. VFC seems a lot more like KWA, very, very proprietary. If not very specifically, only a few aftermarket support for it too. So that's why I say MWS. Especially after this lovely rabbit hole I drove down, MWS is the way to go. So I'm glad that I went MWS. But yeah, guys, stay tuned. I'll be having a lot more content come out because once I start making upgrades and whatnot, I'll take you down the journey and show you how to do everything. And yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. Join me on this beautiful journey of gas blowback. It's going to take some time, though. It sucks that I have to wait till April. So Airsoft GI, if you see this, if there's any chance of hooking me up early so that I can do reviews on it and help you out, let me know. Because I did already pay for it. So you're not like giving me stuff early just because. It's giving me stuff early to help promote it. Yeah. Because I want to do, because this is as good as I think it's going to be. I'm going to promote it. And I'm probably going to promote it anyway. So whether, and not sponsored by anybody. I always tout good products. So I'm going to give very honest reviews on this. So stay tuned, guys. Hope this was informative. Hope it helped you out. If not, join the Discord. Ask more questions. I'm still learning, but I have learned a lot. And I do have other friends and whatnot, clearly in the chat, who know more than me, if not equal amounts. So I can hook you up and get you help that you needed. Until then, stick around, guys, for other videos I got coming out and everything. I'm sponsored by myself. That's right, Jason. But hit that bell icon to be notified for all the other future videos coming out. Join me every Monday for the game stream. Then we're almost done with Borderlands 4. So there's that. But until next time, everybody, I will check you later. And never, ever forget your battle cry. Nee!